Yeah.
And overuse of misuse of antibiotics have accelerated in this bacterial resistance. We use too much antibiotics in food, in agriculture products, and also in health and medical use.
Yeah.
It poses a critical threat to global health.
Yeah.
So our ATP technology enables precise measurement of the antibiotic levels required to treat a specific infections, thus
Mm.
minimizing unnecessary antibiotic use.
Welcome to Swiss Impact with Banerjees. Have you noticed how sustainability is not just a trend anymore?
Totally. This season, we are exploring the circular economy. The products are made to be used, reused, and recycled.
And we are seeing some incredible examples like turning ocean plastic into fashion or art.
Or creating electronics that are built to last, not just be replaced.
And we are going to spotlight these pioneers and see how they're driving real change and what can we learn.
And let's dive into it right now.
Welcome everyone to the 5th episode of the 9th season.
And sometimes it feels like the world is surrounded by darkness nowadays. But every week we are here to share stories of hope and resilience. Reminders that even in the hardest times, there is light to be found.
Absolutely. Be the light. It's truly a privilege to bring these uplifting stories to our audience. I'm so grateful to be part or be a vessel even to spread positive news and inspire change.
And today's episode has a special significance for me personally. It's a story that hits very close to home.
You've got my attention, Ben, so what's on your mind?
So, a few years ago, my father started experiencing severe throat pain. After months of consultation and delays, his doctor finally ordered a biopsy. But even after that, we waited a long time for the results.
I can only imagine how difficult that must have been.
It was. But by the time we got the results, it was too late. The cancer had already spread throughout his upper body.
Well, that's truly heartbreaking. And this happened in India.
Yes, but this issue is not only limited to one place. I had another family member in the Holland who went through quite something similar. His prostate cancer had already spread to his bone marrow by the time his test results came back.
It was Netherlands?
Yeah, it was in Netherlands.
Well, that's devastating to think how much a timely diagnosis could change the outcome. Whether it's cancer or any other critical illness, early detection can be the difference between life and death.
And exactly that's why today's discussion is so very important.
Okay, with that, it's our honor to introduce Mr. Remy Cima, a leader in rapid diagnostics who's working to ensure that stories like this become less common. Welcome, Remy. Are you here with us today?
Yes, I am. Hello, Ben.
Hi,
Hello.
Remy. Where are you
How are
right
you?
now?
I am in Holland. In the south of Holland is a little bit autumn-like. It's rainy, and so I don't know where you are. I think somewhere
So
in
it
Swiss.
looks like
So
you're a bit
yes, we have
freezing,
the
no?
same.
Okay.
No, it's not free. It's just rainy. So Holland,
Okay.
Holland.
Holland,
That's always like
Holland.
this. No problem.
Switzerland is no better. Here also it's
Oh, okay.
cloudy, wet,
And
Yeah,
foggy.
and foggy.
yes.
All right. So, Remy, before we start, let me introduce you to our audience because your achievements needs to be known. So,
Yes, please.
Remy, you are the visionary CEO of PROMICOL Biotech and a pioneer in ATP-based biotechnology. With over 30 years in chemistry and business, you have led transformative advancements in rapid diagnostics, reshaping healthcare and pharmaceuticals testing. The company PROMICOL's cutting-edge solutions provide from blood diagnostics to precise antibiotic control are setting new standards for speed, accuracy, and impact in patient care and lives. Under your leadership, PROMICOL has become a global leader in ATP diagnostics, offering solutions that are faster, more cost-effective, and significantly improve healthcare outcomes. Remy, your work is redefining rapid diagnostics personalizing healthcare, and quite literally saving lives. So we are so happy that you had some time to join us today. Can you explain, first of all, what are ATP? What is it in simple
Yeah.
words, please, and why it's so important?
Yes, sure. First, thank you for the introduction. I feel humble, but let me explain what ATP is. ATP stands for adenosine triphosphate. And in principle, that is the primary energy module present in all living cells, plants, animals, microbials, humans alike. It powers the essential cellular processes such as cell division, muscle movement, and photosynthesis. So we could not even discuss with each other if we didn't have ATP within us. So
Okay.
ATP is present in all organic matter. And by understanding and detecting this molecule, that's what we are doing, the smallest scale, we can accurately assess the biological activity of a liquid or a sample. And what we in fact do is we do not anything with ATP, but we stole a technology from the firefly that's called ATP bioluminescence. And what the firefly is doing, he's emitting light by using ATP. We do the same thing with our equipment. We measuring light, and we can then determine the origin of the ATP, if it is microbial, if it is bacterial, or is it is diagnostic for different kind of technology, different kind of assessments. So
Okay, thanks. That's
ATP,
more clear. Yeah.
yeah,
And and and,
okay.
uh, and you have been leading under so many. You're leading so many companies. So how did you first recognize ATP's potential, and how do you
So
manage such a diverse group?
so the group is not that important. I think the first time that I came in contact with this ATP technology was in 2010, when I found the founding father of when I met the founding father of PROMICOL Biotech. I quickly recognized that the potential of this ATP testing technology is huge, and you can use that across different kind of industries and products. Well, in the beginning, what Promicol was doing and still is doing was doing quality testing for food. Imagine like milk and beverages and cosmetics and stuff like that. But very soon we were thinking about if you can measure it in any fluid, what is the most important fluid for a human? Let's say blood, and human fluids would be very interesting to develop a system for medical or pharmaceutical areas. So that I thought, okay, this is something, could be something very huge and worthwhile pursuing and start this innovation.
Okay.
Amazing. So let's talk about PROMICOL. So PROMICOL's ATP testing has transformed the pharmaceutical industry. What was the key moment when you realized its impact?
So the breakthrough came when a prominent pharmaceutical company developed a CAR T therapy and asked us to assist. CAR T is a cancer therapy, and it is used for people or children that are already in a very advanced state and almost terminal state. So the problem with a quality test for this type of therapy, it takes a long time. Before the product can be administered to a patient, it takes up to 12 days kind of quality control test before it is released. So it was very important to have a faster test. We were able to develop a quality test for releasing the product to the patients, and it takes 48 to 72 hours. So this was a major achievement in this protocol, and that's the first time that we understood that our technology is really upfront and makes it possible to do a accurate, rapid, reliable diagnostic solution for this type of therapies and products.
Okay. And can you tell us something about your latest products? What makes them so unique? And how are they changing diagnostics in different areas?
So in addition to our established products that we use for food and cosmetic testing, we have finalized solutions for the pharmaceutical and clinical sectors. Our new offerings include microbial load testing in vaccines and injectables, real-time coagulation testing for blood and measuring of blood vitality, and we have a test against antimicrobial resistance determination. And the first steps are made for early detection of circulating cancer cells in blood. Coming back to the beginning of your story, this about your father and your relative in Holland. This is a very important step. These products are designed to enhance diagnostic speed and precise across multiple industries, transforming how contamination and disease markers can be identified. Because we understand the smallest part, the smallest energy part in a organism, we also understand when it is misbehaving. This understanding gives us the possibility to develop several diagnostic instruments, diagnostic tests.
Okay.
And how about cost? Because we say it's cost efficient. So in relation to standard procedures, how much cost effective your products are?
So cost effectiveness is important because if you look at the normal sterility testing for products, it takes up to 70 days. By reducing this to 24 hours or 72 hours, it's a huge increase in time. And that means you
so from
will
70
also,
to 20 to 48 hours.
yes,
70
so from
days
70
to
days
2 days,
to
basically 48 hours. Okay,
so
wow.
to 2 days. So it is huge. And in major manufacturers of vaccines, they do this quality testing 3 or 4 or 5 times, depending on the manufacturing method. So you can imagine what kind of reduction that gives in cost and effectiveness in speed. And I don't mean the speed of our testing, but also in reducing time to market.
Yeah, that's true.
So then I guess it improves patient outcome dramatically, life and death cases, right? So can you share some stories maybe? How could it improve the outcomes?
So if I understand what you're saying, the speed of determining diagnostics is important for every disease that you have.
Yeah.
So as soon the sooner you can detect what is wrong, the most effective you have for any therapy, whatever the illness is. So because we emphasize on speed, because we are a rapid microbial testing producer, that is our main goal. So we don't want very elaborate, different and difficult systems. We use a test that needs to be accurate, fast and reliable.
Okay. And of course, like you mentioned, so speed is critical, but accuracy is also very important. So how does PROMICOL's rapid testing compare with traditional slower methods in terms of safety and accuracy?
So traditional sterility testing can take up to 70 days, right? It goes between 9 and 70 days, depending on the system. But if it is sterility testing, what the most of the pharmaceuticals are using, it takes 70 days, which is a considerable time investment, if you can imagine. In contrast, PROMICOL's system provides results within 48 to 72 hours. We have new developments where we are able to do it in 24 hours. So it's highly automated, minimizing human intervention. So also the risk of human failure is reduced dramatically. Surely for smaller samples, human sampling is necessary. But for example, in the food, for large manufacturers of milk and stuff like that, we have integrated full automated robotic systems. So it goes completely without any human intervention. So this is very important. It increases the speed, increases the reliability, increases the quality control, all these things. This automation is very important. Because at the end of the day, accuracy makes testing highly reliable and safer alternative to traditional methods.
Exactly. And PROMICOL is pioneering in cancer diagnostics with early detection of circulating cancer cells. Can you share the unique insights that led to this approach and what makes it different from normal available conventional methods?
So our R&D team is deeply committed in developing diagnostic systems and a diagnostic platform for the early detection of cancer cells. Currently, we are advancing through the R&D phases and expect to bring this product to the market within 3 to 5 years. Why it takes that time is because it also has an extensive clinical trial period. Because we want to do tests with cancer, and it is highly regulated before you can have a reliable test on the market, because it has to really be good before it can be released. That's why I think our endeavor in revolutionizing cancer diagnostics will also have a global impact, because it will drastically reduce the time of diagnosis of the cancer and enabling faster and potential life-saving treatments. Because the problem with cancer is not the treatment, is the diagnosis.
Yep.
Because if you are too late,
It is too
then
late.
it is almost, it can be lethal, or the therapy is that invasive that you think, okay. And I think everybody in his private life has encountered this kind of terrible
Yep.
situations.
I fully agree. But a new thing that is nowadays coming up very often is this antimicrobial microbial resistance, which is
Yeah.
becoming a serious issue. Can you explain why it is so critical now and how PROMOCOL is addressing this?
So antimicrobial resistance, short AMR, is
Maybe
projected to
explain
be.
it first.
Yes, let me explain it. It
Yeah.
is the is First, it is projected to be the most lethal cause of death in 2050 if we don't react or have a
Now.
solution fast.
Yeah.
And what it says is that microbial, it means bacterial, is resistance to antibiotics.
Yeah.
And you have these stories by flesh-eating bacteria and bacteria that is not resistant to antimicrobial. It means the antibiotics that you are using will not cure your infection.
Yeah.
And overuse of misuse of antibiotics have accelerated in this bacterial resistance. We use too much antibiotics in food, in agriculture products, and also in health and medical use.
Yeah.
It poses a critical threat to global health.
Yeah.
So our ATP technology enables precise measurement of the antibiotic levels required to treat a specific infections, thus minimizing unnecessary antibiotic use. So I don't. If you have had some antibiotics prescribed, they always say, okay, you have 20 tablets, just finish
Yeah.
it. You
Yeah.
know, that's strange, because maybe you only need two. They
Yeah.
don't know. The
Exactly. Yeah.
problem is that is the problem. This precision approach has the potential to significantly reduce the antimicrobial resistance of, say, bacteria. So it's preserving antibiotic efficacy and supporting better public health. Because if you do this and you reduce the misuse or overuse of antibiotics, the
Yeah.
antibiotics that we have will be working longer than is the case at the time.
Yeah. Completely.
I
Yeah.
see. Now let's talk about AI, because, as you know, AI is also now used in healthcare. So, how is AI used in PROMICOL platforms, and what improvements does it bring to accuracy and speed, or maybe any other?
So we are using AI even before it was called AI, because I
It's
don't know what
longer
we
than
called
some
it
people
before,
think
but
there.
we
Yeah.
are using that already for 15 years, when we never called it AI. Now we are doing that also because it's hip, it's modern. So our AI is an integral part of our R&D efforts. All our software has an AI component. It enhances our accuracy and microbial load detection, and support also predictive diagnostics. So our system is able to detect let's say, the microbial, but also gives an idea what kind of type of contamination it is. And what it also does, because it's a learning part of the software, it is increasing speed of the testing process. It also enhances reliability and the accuracy of the software, and gives us a better outcome during the test.
Yeah. Okay. And how has the medical community responded to PROMICOL's real-time testing? Any key partnerships you would like to mention?
Do they like you and your solutions?
Yes. So our partners that we have are extremely satisfied with our developments. Uh, Particularly, they are valuing the speed and accuracy of our system in comparison to, let's say, the more traditional method. That's really very, very old and old-fashioned. So these qualities are crucial in high-stakes environments like healthcare, where rapid and reliable results are essential. For them to not only speed is important, but speed in joining with the reliability of the test. Your
Okay.
question about can I share information? No, confidentiality restricts me to disclose specific partnerships. So I'm not at liberty to do that.
Okay. But on the other side of it is that sometimes or very often nowadays I notice that new tech also faces skepticism in healthcare. How do you persuade stakeholders of PROMICOL's value?
It's a very good question, I think. Historically, the healthcare industry has been cautious about adopting new quality assurance technologies. I don't know why that is, because in the normal production, they use the best technology there is. But however, the COVID 19 pandemic has prompted a shift towards more openness. I think at some point they thought this old-fashioned 15, 17, 12, 17 days waiting for a quality return should not be the way to go. So what we do is how to get these people enthusiastic about a system is giving them a hands-on experience. The only way to do that is give them the possibility to work with the system. So what we are doing is offering our customers the opportunity to test the system in their own environment. Because at the end of the day, we know out of experience, as soon as they have the product, the system within their own laboratory, and they're able to do that themselves, our product
Right.
will sell themselves. At some point, these people, the quality people, are people who are very conscious about their responsibility, and they only are reluctant and willing to take a new system if they 100% trust it. And the only way to do that is working with the system. So what we are doing is we give support, we give training, we give hands-on assistance. We go to the client, we give them the product, everything what is necessary for them to get a good grasp of the technology, to understand what it is, and not to be worried about this new technology.
That's good. To
This,
transform fear to love, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's talk about impact, Remy. So, sustainability is becoming non negotiable. How does PROMICOL's technology contribute to sustainability in healthcare? Maybe by reducing waste or anything else that you are doing for the better impact outcomes.
Yeah. So sustainability has always been an important item during our R&D process. You know, sustainability for us is joined with reliability. For us, these are not two different things. For us, this is one goal and one effort, because in our technology, we cannot separate them. We cannot be sustainable and not reliable. That would be
yeah.
not possible. So,
Yeah.
for example, our antimicrobial resistant testing directly reduces antibiotic overuse. So that's a huge sustainability
Yeah.
issue, which is surely a significant step in responsible healthcare. So overall, all our systems aim to streamline production and reduce waste. For example, if the time to market within a manufacturer of food is reduced from 3 weeks to 1 day, it really reduces cost and storage and waste of finished product. So we believe
Yeah.
strongly by using ATP in testing, the waste of plastics and microbial waste will be significantly reduced.
Perfect. Yeah. And you are based in Europe's biotech hub, but you have global influence. So what challenges have you faced in scaling internationally?
We are an international operating organization, and we are used to work worldwide. Because of our food and cosmetics business, we are working with major cosmetic brands worldwide. So we are used to work on a global scale. What did they say? Act local and work global. So the changes that we are having to accommodate right now is more mainly financial. The search of a strong partner in as a financial partner, and at the other hand, partners who are understanding the market where we are going into, might it be pharmaceutical or clinical, is a paramount for us. So to find a good partner on both areas is something
Yeah.
that's on my mind, and I'm working on that every day to find the right fit, the right partnership.
Completely understand. And what is your strategy for getting PROMICOL's products to market? And how has that evolved?
Our market approach is based on creating external awareness events. That's what we want to do. We want to get an event where we address more than one customer at the same time,
Yeah.
and let them then see our benefits and product, and give them a hands-on experience. Because we have different products and platforms, we are able to approach potential customers in several locations on different settings. Either it can be like a fair or a trade show or something that we
Yeah.
organize ourselves. What we also do is we set up trials and tests for them just to try it out and see the benefits. Like I said earlier, I think at the end of the day, the product and our technology will sell themselves
Yeah.
as soon as we have the human accepting that there's a new technology what they should try.
Yeah. I fully agree. And you are seeking investment. So what are the main goals for this funding, and what makes PROMICOL a very great investment opportunity?
I think this is a very important point. The reason that we are seeking funding is because to advance our development projects. Our products that are already on the market don't need any, let's say, any development, any funding. But the products like the antimicrobial resistance, the early detection of cancer, the measurement of vitality in blood are requiring a huge amount of funding. The regulatory requirements of this kind of products within the pharmaceutical and clinical industry is huge. So funding is essential. If you don't have funding, we will not be able to get the product on the market. For example, our AMR, or antimicrobial resistance and blood vitality and cancer detection, will have a potential to make a big transformation on the global scene. It will have an impact on how we think about treating cancer and getting across with the antimicrobial resistance. I think by helping us and giving investment, I think you are having the opportunity to be in a life-changing technology and help change the world. Because at the end of the day, that's what we want. Surely we are entrepreneurs and we want to make money and we want to have our technology. But at the end of the day, if you are able to do something in the world and change some major issue, I think you should go for it. And at the end of the day, we as PROMICOL, we are not able to do that by ourselves. So we need partners in funding.
It's a,
Otherwise, it's not viable.
Remy, you're talking our language, definitely. So how much are you seeking? You did mention the amount in this financial round.
So that's a very difficult I cannot answer that, in fact, because it is depending on the speed of the market and which product or which product line are we pushing forward. So I think that should be a discussion between the specific potential investor and us.
Okay.
And I'll also, I won't give you an idea because it I don't want to if there's someone who is willing to do it for a small amount or for a big amount, I think everybody should have the chance to talk with us and
Right.
give
Yeah.
his potential, and we are open for every
It
discussion.
For
makes
different
complete
kinds.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
Amazing. The time is running, Remy, but
Is it?
I wanted to ask you a few more questions. So, how
Yes,
can our
yes.
audience support you? Maybe you have some website, social media, or anything beside
Yes.
investment can be done.
So we have websites, of course. I don't know. Do I need to mention them, or what is
You
your?
can
Yeah.
share
Yeah.
it here, of
Yeah. Yeah.
course. Yes.
No, you can find us on the internet. Is is PROMICOL.com if you want to know something about us, and through the website you will find every other things. We are on LinkedIn, surely we are on social media, so you can find us and you can contact us.
Okay.
Perfect. And finally, the call to action, maybe for young innovators interested in the intersection of biotech and diagnostics, what advice would you share, especially regarding tackling big healthcare challenges like AMR and cancer?
It's a very interesting, very interesting question because what the I think at some part the goal of developing an individualized therapy and treatment will be the future for everyone, and generic treatments will not work and maybe are too expensive. To come to an individualized therapy, I think the intersection between biotech and diagnostics is a very interesting part. If you are a young innovator, I think you should go on and sit on that intersection, because I believe by advancing the diagnostics by new biotechnology, I think you will bring us closer to an individualized therapy for treatment of any disease. So I think if you are able to do that, you will also reduce cost of healthcare and help in establishing the goal for having a individualized health uh, and treatment plan for everybody on this planet, not only the people who are living in the West.
Wow.
Amazing. Thank you
This.
so much, Remy. That's very powerful.
Yeah. And I
And
just wanted to add because my son is now studying exactly in your field in the university and in pharmaceuticals. And I was thinking, what on earth can he do? But then I was listening recently to the speech of one of the world's largest economists. He's the head of the Bridgewater Associates. And he said that the future of the world, the biggest part, is going to be health tech and biotech and med tech. He said already today, 5% of US economy is biotech and health tech, and he sees it only climbing, climbing, and climbing. So that is, I think, also very positive for the investors to know that your sector or your field is one of the fastest growing and is going to be the future.
it's because
Yes,
everyone's getting sick.
And old,
yes,
Sick
yes.
and all.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, if you're not healthy,
yeah,
nothing goes, right?
yeah,
It's
exactly.
always number one. Yes, health is
Yes.
always
Your
number one.
health is the most important thing, I think. And quality of
So
life, of sure.
Your life
exactly.
itself is the most important. Without you having a life, you can't experience anything. No pain
Right.
or no joy.
Yeah. Yes.
So, but
Amazing, Amy. Thanks for joining us today. And
Thank you.
take care of yourself. Don't feel cold in this rainy season.
Okay. Thank you.
see you then.
Thank
Yes.
you
Bye bye.
for joining us today. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Dear audience, with this, or maybe you want to say something else,
No.
we end the show off today. For you, our dear audience, as well, stay healthy, stay joyful, and we see you next week. Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Thanks for joining our circular journey. We hope you are as pumped about sustainability as we are.
Absolutely. And if these stories didn't get you fired up, we don't know what will.
Keep subscribed and follow us everywhere. TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, you name it. And share it with your family and friends.
And if you got a cool story or want to connect to our guests, let us know.
Stay tuned for more inspiring episodes. Let's keep evolving towards a sustainable future together.